traveled across the world to Tanzania, Africa. The trip was undoubtedly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and still, my sister and I did not want to go. The idea of spending 2 weeks at a camp with no air conditioning, covered in bug bites, did not seem appealing. We complained our way onto the airplane, where we were promptly told by my parents to, in a polite way, suck it up. After about 2 full days of airplane food and tired arms from lugging around suitcases, we arrived on the Serengeti, exhausted and just a little bit frustrated. To top it all off, we got into a Jeep and drove yet another hour to our rest stop for the night. In short, not a great start to the trip. Once there, we dropped our bags on the floor and complained so much, you would have thought they weighed 100 pounds each. To make matters worse, we were exiled from the bathroom by a almost comically large lizard above the toilet. We decided we would rather be home, where there are absolutely no lizards and you don't have to sleep with a mosquito net around your bed every night. My sister and I had already decided we'd seen enough of Africa. And then we woke up the next morning. The fog and the mosquitoes had cleared and left us a beautiful African skyline. The mountains were capped with snow and the leaves on the trees were coated in early morning dew. The next few days flew by as we traveled by Jeep to our next location, a camp called Chemchem, which I hopefully pronounced correctly. At Chemchem, we didn't have to look far to be once again amazed by the wildlife. Towering giraffes and large herds of zebras were almost common as flies there. Baobab trees grew as if they were reaching towards the sky. We were stunned by everything around us. It felt like we had stumbled our way, right through the wardrobe, smack dab in the middle of Narnia. It almost made us forget that we were still fighting off massive jet lag and bug bites. A few more days into this trip, we visited an orphanage in the middle of nowhere. We expected it to be a quiet place, filled with children who kept to themselves. We were wrong. As soon as our Jeep pulled up, we were greeted by at least 15 smiling faces. The children were all happy to see us, a group of strangers. These kids didn't have the same opportunities that any of us had, but they continued to find and appreciate things that made them happy every day. We were definitely wrong about thinking they kept to themselves. They participated in pulling us every which way, trying to show us their own little worlds. Their list of belongings were limited to what they could fit in a small cubby, but they still managed to find the silver lining in their situation. They found the bright side of things, and it definitely inspired us more than we realized at the time. We suddenly gained a new perspective on the way we viewed almost everything in our lives. We began to appreciate everything about where we were. We were amazed by the sights and the smells, not at all fazed by how tired we actually were. My sister and I no longer complained about anything, even the things we would have normally made a fuss about. Now that we're back home, I still try to carry these values with me in my day-to-day life. I try to go through situations with an open mind and make the best of them, even when they seem intimidating. I remember these things so that, in a way, I still carry a piece of Africa with me everywhere that I go. Thank you.